Hey guys, I just wanted to put up this short video in case any of you has been considering or looking at homeschooling. There have always been as many reasons to homeschool as there are homeschoolers, but now my child's school got shut down because of COVID-19 is one of those reasons. You have options. First, I do want to mention online charter schools. Those are schools like Arizona Connections Academy or Primavera High School. I'd like to state I have no personal knowledge of them. I've heard good things specifically about Arizona Connections Academy, but I don't know anything about them. I can't speak to them or say whether I would recommend them or not. I do want to be clear, they are not homeschool. Homeschool is defined in the Arizona Revised Statutes as a non-public school conducted primarily by the parent, guardian, or other person who has custody of the child, or non-public instruction provided in the child's home. So you're a homeschooler if you, your spouse, or another person with legal custody of your child is teaching your child, is the primary educator for your child anywhere in the world. If you teach at home, if you teach at the library, if you teach while on vacation, if you're the primary educator for your child, you're a homeschooler. You are also a homeschooler if you bring another educator, like a tutor, into your school to teach a private lesson to your child or children. That is also considered homeschooling in the Arizona Revised Statutes. That's non-public instruction provided in the child's home. There are a wide range of options for homeschool. That, as you can tell, is very, very vague. Homeschool in Arizona requires the teaching of the subjects of reading, grammar, mathematics, social studies, and science. For your reference, if you want to look up exactly what the Arizona Revised Statutes say about homeschooling, you can go to azleg.gov. That's the Arizona State Legislature's website. You can look up the Arizona Revised Statutes. You want to look up ARS 15-802. Those are the laws pertaining specifically to school instruction and exceptions. If you choose to homeschool in Arizona, congratulations. Arizona is one of the easiest schools to easiest states to homeschool in. There is very little legislation, there are very little restrictions, there are very little requirements, which is both a blessing and a curse. The blessing is you can educate your child in whatever method feels appropriate for your family, and that is homeschool, and that is legal in Arizona. The downside is that still doesn't give you a very good idea on where to start. So I'm going to address that by the end of this video. If you want, you will be prepared to start homeschooling your kid tomorrow or today if you want. I'm going to give you everything you need, all the resources you need to start homeschooling your kid immediately if you want to. First, the legal requirement. In Arizona, within 30 days of beginning to homeschool your kids, so if you want to try it out right now while COVID-19 has your kids' schools shut down and you're not going to actually start homeschooling, or you don't know if you're going to start homeschooling, don't worry about it. You have 30 days from starting to homeschool your child to let your county school superintendent know that that is your intention. You have to file what's called an affidavit of intent. It has to include your child's name, your child's date of birth, their address, the names, telephone numbers, and addresses of the parents, of the people who have custody of your child, and then the statement that you intend to homeschool your child. The easiest way to do this, Arizona Families for Homeschool Education, or AFHE. Their website is afhe.org. I will link it down below. Has a recreated form that you can just fill out. It tells you exactly what you need to send. You've got to send the birth certificate in with it. Tells you where and how and everything that you need to do. It's all filled out for you there. They make it super, super easy to file this affidavit with the school superintendent. That's it. Once you've done that, that is the legal requirement. Check. Nobody is looking for testing. Nobody's looking for records. Nobody's keeping track of how many hours your kids homeschool. In Arizona, that is it. That's the requirement. So you do that. Congratulations. Now you're legal. As long as you do that in the next 30 days, you can start today. So now what? What do I do now? I can legally homeschool, but I still have no idea what I'm doing. First thing I recommend to every family in Arizona, and really families a lot of other places would benefit as well, is to go to the afhe.org website. That is the Arizona Family for Homeschool Education. And they are a nonprofit 501c corporation. They are run by a Christian board of directors. You do not have to be Christian to be a member. You do not have to be Christian to use their resources. But to get that out there in the open, they are a Christian board of directors. They have been helping homeschool families since 1983. So they've got a lot of experience. They have resources for you. Everything from becoming legal to finding curriculum to finding social groups. They put on events, including the big Arizona Homeschool Conference. They cover a lot for homeschoolers. It's a really, really good resource to start with. So afhe.org. So that's the first thing I would say that you look at. Go to Arizona Families for Homeschool Education and just read. They've got everything. What do I teach them? What do I do? There's a range. You can do anything from create your whole curriculum yourself, pick what and when and how your kids are going to learn, or let them pick what and when and how they're going to learn, to complete curriculums complete with tests and instructor assistance and everything. There's a range. Everything in the middle. If you're desperate today and you're thinking, I need to put my kids in homeschool right now, I don't have money and I don't know what I'm doing, I'll tell you the easiest way to do it. There is a website. It is allinonehomeschool.com. The curriculum is easy peasy, all-in-one homeschool, and it is created by a fantastic woman named Lee Giles. Lee Giles is a homeschool mom. She was homeschooling her kids to simplify things. She was putting their assignments for the assignments for her own children on the computer, and she, out of the goodness of her heart, has opened that up, expanded it, and has made it available to all homeschooling families. Again, she is Christian. Her curriculum includes Bible study. You do not have to be a Christian. You do not have to do the Bible aspect of it with your kids if that is not something you're comfortable with, or if you are a Christian but don't want to use her curriculum for that, totally fine. Her curriculum can be cherry-picked. So if there are specific subjects that you're looking for, but she's got everything. She has all of those required subjects that are required by the state of Arizona, plus a ton more. There are electives. She's got art electives. She's got foreign language electives. There's tons of stuff, computers, all kinds of things. She has everything you need. And all that you need to get started is a computer with internet access, paper, and drawing supplies. Maybe a ruler, maybe scissors, maybe glue, things like that. Basic school supplies. And if you have nothing else, you can educate your child. Thanks to Easy Peasy. You click, she gives you the lesson. This is what the kid is doing. These are the websites. Everything's online. The reading is online. She's scoured the internet. She's found videos. She's found games. She's found reading. She's found references for every subject. She's created worksheets from scratch for math, for grammar. They are all available. Everything is free. She's amazing. I cannot say enough good things about Lee Giles and the curriculum that she's created. Easy Peasy is elementary through middle school or junior high. She has a separate website just for high school kids. So regardless of the age or the level, it's preschool on up. She's got something for your family. So if you want something, you want to start now, you're desperate, you don't know what to do, go to Easy Peasy, get started. Everything is there for you. If you want to take more time, if you want to look really specifically at the things that are going to work best for your family, for your kids, and you look at Easy Peasy and think, okay, this is good, but this isn't what I want in this area, or this isn't how my kids learn, totally fine. There are lots of other references out there. I want to talk about Kathy Duffy next. KathyDuffyReviews.com is the website for another homeschooling matriarch. Kathy Duffy reviews curriculum, everything from complete curriculum packages to just math curriculum, just science curriculum, just history curriculum. She has looked at basically all of them. She has her top lists for different things. She has resources for specific subjects. She has her top, I think, 102 curriculum sets, which Easy Peasy is included in her top curriculum options. But if you want specific things for your kids, Kathy Duffy can help you find exactly what you're looking for. The next thing that I want to talk about is something called deschooling. When homeschool families choose to pull their kids out of school for the first time and start on homeschool, we often want to give our kids a chance to deschool. And by that I mean to breathe, to expand. Homeschooling is very different from a more traditional brick and mortar regular school. The curriculum, the time, everything, it can now be tailored to your child or your children. Deschooling gives everybody a chance to decompress, to push out, to find out who they are outside of school in the same way that adults are often defined by our jobs, by our occupations. Our kids are often defined by their school, and deschooling gives them a break. It can be a few weeks, a few months, sometimes even 6 months or a year, where you just let your kids do what they want. Rest, breathe, read what they're interested in, watch what they're interested in. It gives you a chance also to see who your kids are outside of school. What are they really interested in? What are they really good at? What are they really struggling at? There are a lot of resources for how to deschool. Google it. That's how grown-ups learn things they don't know how to do, is they Google it. So Google it. Look at deschooling before you jump into homeschool, especially if you think you may switch full-time to homeschool on a semi-permanent or permanent basis. The next question that I hear a lot is, what if my kids want to go back to school? Will they be able to? Yes. Arizona Revised Statute says kids kindergarten and up can be tested to determine their grade level and put back in public school. So if you just want to homeschool for the rest of this semester, you want to homeschool for a few years, and in junior high stick them back, you always have that option. Your kids can always go back to public school. They may get tested for placement to see where they go back, but they can always go back. On a similar note, what if I homeschool my kid all the way through high school? That is my intention for my daughter, is to homeschool her through high school. Does she have to get a GED? No. She can get a GED. There is not as much stigma on a GED that there was a decade or two ago, but she does not have to. You are your child's school. You can create a homeschool diploma. You can create it in a Word document if you want. There are also tons of websites that specifically make homeschool diplomas. You put the information in, they send you back a beautiful diploma in its mock leather case, just like the ones that you get in a public school. Beautiful, official, embossed. They're lovely. Totally fine, totally legal, totally acceptable. Next question, what if my kid wants to go to college? And they do. They are often more prepared for college than kids in another school because they are used to working independently. College is the first time for public school kids that they're left to their own devices, that they go to class or don't, that they study or don't, that they take math or don't, based on what they want, based on what they feel. Homeschool kids have had that experience. They have already learned to be responsible for their own education. So when they get to college, they're ready for it. All colleges that I have ever found, all universities, even the Ivy Leagues, accept homeschool students, and often are excited to accept homeschool students because they know those kids are already good at independent learning, are already good at taking responsibility for their own education. You can look it up. You can look at ASU. You can look at Harvard. Those websites will both tell you, every university I've ever looked at will tell you the requirements for homeschool kids to get into their university. And most of them are very positive. Yes, we take homeschool kids. We love homeschool kids. Homeschool kids are responsible for their own education, and that's what we're looking for in university students or college students. So yes, your kids can go to college, even if they're homeschooled, even if the only high school diploma they have is one that you created in a Word document. That is okay. Socialization, it's the big question with homeschool. Homeschoolers laugh at it. Homeschoolers get annoyed by it. Sometimes homeschoolers even get mad about it. Will my kid be that weird kid that stands in the corner and talks to himself? No, not by virtue of being homeschooled. Your kids are going to be as social as you hope them be. There are thousands of other families who are homeschooling. There are tons of before school, after school, summer vacation activities, events, programs where your kids can hang out with either other homeschool kids or other regular school kids. There are lots of choices. Your kids will not be weird shut-in children unless you make them be weird shut-in children. You can always find people to connect with. If you're on Facebook, there are tons of groups on Facebook. Christian groups, secular groups, groups that hike, groups that like animals, groups that geocache, groups that like arts and crafts, groups that play board games as part of their homeschool. Lots of groups. Your kids will not be socially isolated. And your kids are going to know how to talk to adults because you're going to take them to the grocery store with you. You're going to take them to the bank with you. You're going to let them watch you pay bills. They are going to know how adults communicate in the world outside of school. Your kids can be better socialized in homeschool than they could be in public school if you make the effort, just a little bit of effort, to take them with you, show them what it's like to be an adult, and get them connected with other homeschoolers in your area. I promise there are some. We're everywhere. It's like a homeschooler infestation in Arizona. We are everywhere here. You will be able to find people in your community that homeschool with kids who have interests similar to yours, with parents who have interests similar to yours. There is a homeschool community for you, I promise. I think those are kind of the big questions. If anybody has any additional questions, please contact me. I will happily talk you through everything I've learned, everything I've seen, everything I know about homeschooling. There are tons of resources. You can get started. You can deschool your kids, or you can get started homeschooling them today. Look at Easy Peasy. look at Kathy Duffy. Find a curriculum that is a good fit for your kids. Your kids do not have to be uneducated just because this virus is turning our world into this weird, like, post-apocalyptic society. It's going to get better. There's a bright day coming in the future, and we don't know when it's coming, but it is coming. And you can help your kids be prepared for it by being the best people they can be. So if you have any questions, yeah, again, contact me. I will put every link I can think of, and any other resources that I think of later, I will link, I promise. Love to everybody. You can do this.